Okay, it's live. Let me go back over here. And if I could get roll call one more time so I could write it in, please.
Hello, Mr. Lewis. This is MJ.
Hello, Mr. Lewis. This is Kristen.
Hi, Mr. Lewis. This is Jada. Hi, Mr. Lewis. This is Kayla.
Hello, Mr. Lewis. This is Keith Ann.
And everybody? All right, we're gonna get started. So there's basically 4 or 5 of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the assignment last week, resources, my tool, knowledge base, dedication, and communication. So who's ready to give me their information?
Mr. Lewis, I'm ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it might sound like I'm reading something because I am, because I had to write all this down because it's quite a lot. I hope my mic will still work.
Yep, I hear you
Mr.
fine.
Lewis, can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to start off with resources since that was the first thing you said.
Mhm.
So, resources for me at this moment is my parents, but I know that's going to change with a promise delivered. So, my definition for resources is anything that is providing an income. Next up is my tools. I have a number of tools. I use my laptop as a tool. I no longer have a cell phone, but I am working on getting one back. I have a Capital One checking account for kids and a Delta Community Savings account. And I also have a Greenlight checking account for kids. I'm still waiting for my mom to buy me a real bank, a ledger. But for right now, I only have one wallet, which is in my dad's name. And next is knowledge base. What knowledge base means to me is really just reading and comprehending the information. Oh, and for example, my mom just purchased me a dirt bike and there was a manual. I need to read the manual so I learn how to put it together and learn how to put in the gas and the oil. Next is dedication. My definition for dedication, it's simple. It's perfecting my craft by repeating good habits every day and being fully committed to something. As you already know, I put away $3.50 every Friday around 1:10. I brush my teeth twice a day so my breath could be fresh. And last but certainly not least, my definition for communication is skillfully just getting my point across while listening and receiving information. That's it.
A plus. Everybody give him a round of applause, please. Perfect. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Okay, next.
Mr. Lewis, can I go next?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first, resources. Resources are your money slash income and where they come from. And so my resources are my chores that come from my mom and dad, and they are my income right now, but that will change. My tools include my digital wallet, bank account, and crypto debit card. These are what I use to handle my money, and they will become more useful as I learn more. Knowledge base is all the information I know about money, like how to save, budget, and invest. It's important for making smart financial decisions. And dedication means sticking to my goals and tasks with commitment and effort, even when it's hard. Communication is how I share and exchange information with others. It's important for asking questions and learning more about finances.
Awesome. You guys are something else. Excellent job. Next.
Mr. Lewis, I can go if that's all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so my definition of resources is funds and assets that I receive that finance my day-to-day life. My resources include my parents. I have an online store. I don't have a physical job right now by choice because I've been told to hold off. So right now it is just my store and then my parents. My tools would include cash, my checkings and savings accounts, my investments. I currently do not have a ledger, but I am working on getting that. But it would also include my debit and credit cards, my crypto wallets. And also, I believe that mentally, my tool could be my ability to have self control and not spend unnecessarily when it comes to managing my finances.
That's neat.
Knowledge base is what it means to me, it means to develop a firm foundation on what you're educating yourself on, such as reading, following the right influx of information when it comes to the history of the financial realm. And that could be used for everyday things as well. Dedication, I believe, means to have a passion. It is to be loyal to a specific belief, cause, and or purpose, such as managing my finances. And communication is to be able to articulate yourself, your thoughts, your feelings in a clear and concise way.
Awesome job. Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, I can go ahead.
Yes, please.
So for resources, that would be anything that can be used to further anything that you are doing. That would just be the definition. And for me, my resources would be getting income from my job and my parents. They're definitely my main resource. For my tools, I do have a lot of tools, and the tools can be anything that you use to help you. So at my job, I do have to use a computer and iPads, but also while I'm at home, I do have my phone, my laptop. I do use my bike to get around. That's also a form of a tool.
Yeah.
For knowledge base, I do currently have an internship at a doctor's office. So it's not really the job, it's a form of education as well as my job. I would also say that that is knowledge based because I'm using skills that I've learned along the way. Sorry, I'm a bit sick.
Just under the weather, not sick.
Yes. Yes, I'm using skills that I have learned and gathered along the way, as well as learning new things.
Okay.
For communication, just as they said, it's getting your point across. For me, communication is more than just that. It's also a way of gaining more knowledge. because you are learning more when you communicate with anyone.
Mhm.
Especially at my job, I deal with a lot of people. Communicating is very important. You can communicate through emails as well. You are communicating with your bank when you make transactions or when you read any new.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. It blinked out.
Okay, and then dedication is the consistency at on continuously working. To ensure that you reach your goal.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, did you hear that?
Yeah, it was going in and out, but I think I'm pretty sure I caught what you were getting at, the dedication part of it. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank
May
you.
I go next?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Kayla?
my resources, yes, I'm Kayla. Okay, so my resources are anything that provides income, like my online bank accounts and investments. Communication is relaying information or information being relayed to me. Dedication to me is putting time into a certain thing consistently. And a knowledge base is knowing when and how to use information you learned and being able to explain it to a 6-year-old. And that's about it.
Okay. Awesome job. Thank you. All right. All of you did an excellent job. And again, some things will be repeated only because the more times you hear things, the further it goes in. Now, we've gone over those things a couple of times, so we will move on. Today, I wanted to touch on two things, just two things, but they're very deep. And it wraps around all five of those things that we just talked about. Number one, let's talk about the wallet. The wallet. It's either going to be a card like this, or it's going to be on the phone. Now, I want to go into a little bit more detail about how to use these things because we're at that point now. The evolution that I'm talking about and that I have been explaining to all of you, including the adults, is that we are at the breaking point of the paper. Okay. I don't know if you watched the debate with the two individuals. I don't like to use titles because neither one of them deserve these titles. No one does really, because I, one, don't think that the system of presidency works. I've already discussed that with you. How can one man know what's going on all around an entire country? It's impossible. So how do you manage it if you don't know what's going on? That's just my personal put on that. So let's talk about that meeting between these two individuals and what it means to us. The whole time that we have been going on in our life, some of you are just starting into this. Some of us are midway through it, and some of us are at the other end of it, where you've seen pretty much every evolution of money. But we are currently in one at this very moment. That meeting itself showed the capacity of the person running this country mentally. That meeting showed what and who or who's not in control. That meeting also showed everybody in the world, not just the United States, but everybody in the world, the actual agenda, if you were paying attention. Now, what you have to do, this is a little bit more in the detailed part of finances, but you have to be paying attention to what they're doing, because the direct result of what they do is how we manage our own. So if they do something completely stupid, which they have been doing for the past 4 years plus, by spending trillions and billions of dollars that we work for elsewhere, is a complete fallacy. So all of the conversation that we have had is about learning how to manage finances. The past 10 presidents failed miserably in finance management. The last 10. Okay? So if they don't know how to manage money, what happens to us? One, you pay the price, either with your finances that you are working for or with your life when they send you off to war. So understanding finances comes with a broad understanding of who's doing what with what. And in light of what has happened and transpired over the past 10 presidencies that have destroyed our finances by sending it all around the world, spending it on things that are foolish, giving it to countries that could care less about us, giving it to countries that then turn around, take the money, buy weapons, and come kill us. So if these 10 people had no idea of managing finances, where does that leave us? Me personally, that leaves us moving on without them. And how do you move on without them? You have to find out, figure out, and use the coming evolution of money, which wallets, cell phones, banks. It is time to decouple away from this and start using the new tools. These are your tools. So the last 10 have done what? Taken money, taken money, take money, take money, take money. Who's producing all of this money? You are. Your parents are. Your grandparents did. Their parents did by working. So I want to touch on one of two things. When you go to work, when you finish college, and you choose a area of expertise, and you've already heard me ask you to explore, don't just pick the one thing, look at all the things that make that one thing and study a little bit of each. So you have multiple ways to generate a resource. When you go to work, someone has a company, let's say McDonald's. When you go to McDonald's, McDonald's is going to say, "Hi, Kayla, welcome to McDonald's. Since you filled out the application, we like what we saw. We're going to give you an opportunity to work for McDonald's." You say, "Yay, great, I got a job." What just happened? I'll tell you. What just happened is you have become a paid slave. It has nothing to do with color. See, a lot of people don't understand the word slave. They go off of what you were taught in school. Oh, slave is the person, black people with the chains, and people went and got them in the boats and whipped and killed and did whatever they did, which is true to an extent. But the slave I'm talking about is an employee. Why do you think I'm asking you to look at all different venues? We don't want to go to work. We want to create it. How do you create work? By becoming a business of your own. Create something that you can do yourself and not go fill out an application. Resources. Do you want to go work for resources or do you want to create them? The second you put on that uniform, Kayla, and I'm just using you as an example. This is just an example. When you get the uniform, you're going to be given a schedule. And that schedule is going to say, okay, Kayla, you have to be here every day, Monday through Friday. We're going to put you on breakfast. So you have to be here at 5 a.m. every day. You're going to get a 15-minute break, and then you're going to get a 30-minute lunch. You'll finish your work in 8 hours, and then you go home. Now, I'm sure everybody on this channel, on this video, if you're watching, yes, that is the scenario of going to work. But I want you to dive into what I just said to you. And I want you to break it down like this. When you put on the uniform, you are no longer you. You belong to McDonald's. You belong to McDonald's. So when you go in there, you can't do what you want to do when you go in there, right? You have to make the fries, salt the fries, put the fries in a box. Remember me talking about that? You see how I bring things back? Cook the fries, salt the fries, put the fries in a box. That's all you do for 8 hours. At the end of 8 hours of the end of the week, 40 hours, you have given of yourself to do this process over and over and over and over and over. At the end of the week, you get a piece of paper. Or now they're doing direct deposit. So they stick it in the bank for you. You have an option to get the paper check or the direct deposit. Excuse me. You pick how you want it. At the end of the week, you have a piece of paper that has a breakdown on it. Now, what I want you to understand is McDonald's did a breakdown on your finances. So what are they doing? Managing their finances. Okay? So they're going to let you have so much an hour. They're going to let you have so many hours a week. They're going to take out lunch. They're going to give a break. And at the end of the week, you get your check and you see on there what they have taken away. What they have taken away. Listen to the words and look at the process. You have given 40 hours of work. You have given 40 hours for a specific amount of money that you agreed upon. You agreed that $10 an hour is what you're going to get. I'm just using that. So at the end of the week, That's $400, right? 10 times 40, 400. Here's the part where everybody on this phone, and you will witness it yourself unless things change like I'm thinking they are, probably in the next couple of weeks. But for the most part, at the end of the week, you get a check and it says you did 40 hours. Your check is $400, the gross amount. And then the trickery happens. And this is the part where it explains to you how much of a slave you are. What do? They take out taxes. They take out insurance. They take out uniform. They take out whatever else. And at the end of these itemized things that McDonald's is managing on your money, you are left with, let's say, 6% minus, or 400 minus 6%, plus your uniform. And the reason why I know these things is because I was a manager at McDonald's and I knew what they were taking out of everybody's check, including mine. So right quick, 400 minus 6% minus 30 for uniforms and insurance, minus another 25 for other fees. There's usually the 6% involves what your state, everybody's state is different. I'm just going off of what mine is. And that check now is $321. You agreed upon $10 an hour. But with all these things that they took out, now you're left with $321. The most unfair thing on the planet. Now, you take that same $321, right? If you get a paper check, you have to take it to the bank and they may charge $5 to cash it. So we're going to minus $5. Now your total is $316, right? Out of that $316, let's say you're trying to do what we have talked about, the dedication, the deposits, or saving, putting away something every Friday, whatever that is for you. Right now it's $3.50. So out of that $316, we're going to take 116 out. So we're going to put that up. So one piece in the change. The change is the $16. One piece is 100. It's a solid unit. Try to put away solid units. So we take the 316 minus 316. Oh, not 316, 116. That leaves you with what? $200. Right? Out of that $200, you've put something away for yourself, you've paid taxes, you've done what you had to do with your check, people taking money from your check before you even get it. At the end of the week, after you've done everything you're supposed to do, you have $200 left. The agreement was $400. That is a corporate slave. You don't have enough money left over to do anything but go back to work. At the end of the week, you're supposed to have more than you started with. Hence, a promise delivered. Hence, Team Royal. Hence, the employment you choose. Except the employment that you choose is this scenario. See, a corporate slave is a person that is satisfying the top people's lifestyle. Are they on that line working with you side by side? No. Are they running to the job every day, every day, every day? Same thing over and over. No. For every hour that you work for someone else, you are completing their dreams. They don't have to work. You are. Times hundreds of people, 3 times a day, morning shift, afternoon shift, night shift, 24 hours a day. This person is making money from your labor. You only have enough at the end of the week to go back again. So that's number one. That's resources. That is how resources are divided and set up for you to fail day one. So let's look at second resources. Remember I said there's 2 things we're going to talk about today? The second resource is your development of it. Mine, a promise delivered. Yours is going to be what you design, create, bring forth, and bless people with it. You are going to create much more than I ever thought of. That's what it's supposed to work. You guys are the future. So you're supposed to do way better than us. This is why I'm doing this, so that you have an understanding of finances so you don't lose out trying to figure it out. We've already done it, a lot of it. So you can actually say, been there, did that. I know how to do this. I know how to save. I know how to invest in the proper thing. I also know how to create a resource because of something that is in need. It's an exact exchange. People need things. If you have the smarts to create the things that they need, they pay you to provide that service. They pay your employees to provide that service that you created. So the second set of resources is just that. Things that you will create. Things that you've already started to do. You have online business, you have understanding crypto, you're looking into IRAs, I heard. So you're looking for the resources or the needs, but the need must outweigh the process. So what that means is when they first did the first hamburger, McDonald's, they made it on a bun, ground meat, toppings, and people ate it and said, wow, this is really good. I want another one. So they provided a service. They created something, a need that what people want to eat. And by the way, food will never go away as long as we consume. So with that knowledge, they were able to take one hamburger, feed it to somebody, and that person said, this is really good. Hey, have you had a McDonald's hamburger? See what I just did? I advertised to someone else about something I got from somebody else. No commercial, no spending advertisement, none of that. But because the product served a purpose, I'm happy with the result because it was good when I ate it. So I'm going to tell somebody else. It's called word of mouth. Word of mouth is very powerful in both aspects. So when you create your thing, or if you start to go into an entrepreneurial mindset, don't just create it and put it out there and see what people say. Dive into it just like you're diving into your second resource. Dive into it, see what it is. Does it provide a service? Is it something that people would pay for? How easy is it to make? What does it cost me to make it? Do I need help? All these things come into play. So understanding a wallet is the same thing. Your second resource is the wallet, and I'm going to show you how. When you create something, you're going to need a form or a way to move the finances that people purchase it with. It's this, your wallet. Used to be, they would walk up to you, give you a handful of this stuff, and you give change, and they walk away, they got their stuff, and that's it. This process is still going to happen. They're not going to get rid of all paper, so don't worry. But what is going to happen, or what is already happening, this is not coming, this is already here. People are using technology to pay for things. You've been doing it already. It's called a debit card. It's called a credit card. So you've already been using technology to purchase and do transactions. What is coming, the difference is the wallets and things that you're going to be using are going to be using the representation of the paper in this country. Now that representation is going to have a specific value. Okay? It's not going to be $1. This might be backed by, I don't know, gold. 1 ounce of gold is right now almost $3,000, 24 something, 2,500 for 1 ounce of gold. This is going to be backed, or the new one, not this one. The new one's going to be backed with resources from the country. Gold, silver, oil, and whatever else we produce. But it's going to be in digital form. This is why I need all of you, every one of you, everybody listening to my voice. If there's something that you don't understand on how to use, let's start with the wallet first. It's on a handheld and it's also on your phone. If there's something that eludes you or is not real super clear on these devices, please let me know. I need you to be able to, let's say, I'm going to send you $1,000 while you're at school. And I say, Kayla, send me your address for your wallet. Now, if you do this right, and if you follow what's being laid out here, the question that Kayla would ask is, number one, what are you sending? And then number two, which wallet would you like, or which wallet are you using? Okay? 2 pieces of information. Now, if Kayla says, well, I don't really have one, and what's the wallet? What happens to Kayla? Number one, she doesn't get what's being blessed to her. Number two, she's going to have a very difficult time being paid, handling her finances, paying bills. She's going to have a tough time. So what I want, or what I would like, want is an empty word, so never use it. That and sorry, we don't use. What I would like for all of you to start doing is choose a wallet of your liking, whichever one it is. This happens to be Cash App. It could be whatever wallet you want. I need you to understand how that wallet works. I need you to have the address, received address to that wallet. It should be, number one, somewhere where you can remember where it's at, that you can copy and paste it into a text, into an email, and send back to the person requesting it. When you go into the back office of a Promise Delivered, you're going to see a box that says withdraw. Under that box, you're going to see another box that says, what's your address? If you get in that back office and say, what address? If you try to start putting your house address in there, guess what? You're not going to receive anything. And if you call a Promise Delivered and say, well, I'm trying to withdraw and I don't see my bank, I can't withdraw. Number one, there is no bank. Number two, it's crypto across the board, 1 through 12. There's no cash. You're not going to be able to withdraw to a bank from a Promise Delivered. You will from Team Royal, but not a Promise Delivered. It's all crypto. So with that being known, I need you for your second resource. The first one was what you have now, this stuff. Second is all digital. I need you to choose one of these wallets. And
Naomi, I believe in you, but today's matter has already.
And understand it clearly. Okay, you need to have the address available on your phone. There should be sticky notes on your phone or some way to collect that information and keep it on your phone, even if you have to email it to yourself. Always copy and paste. I want you to have that I choose for you to have that information available at all times, because you might get a text like that. You might get an email. Well, someone's trying to send you $30,000 and they need your address. It could be a gift from the bread basket. What's your address? If you don't know it, guess what? You just missed a blessing. But we're not going to have that. All of you, once you choose your wallet, you're going to know that wallet, what its capacity is, how much you can put on it at any given time, 30 days, I think it is. What is the frequency of use? How many times can you buy something or withdraw or move money in or move money out? Whatever wallet that is, when you go to their website, all of that information is there. I need you to know it backwards and forwards. At any given time, I need you to be able to log into your wallet and see what the balance is. And also, what is the time span? Are you able to do transactions within that time span? Or are you still kind of close to your limit? Once you have chosen one and you get real familiar with it, and I mean real familiar, because you're going to be doing things daily. Okay? Team Royal pays daily. A Promise Delivered is not daily, but there's always something to do. So the better off and the more you know the information on your wallet, and the easier you can pull up that information, the faster things happen. You guys are the future. So I need you on board 100%. Once you get one down to where it's common knowledge, to you know the first 6 or 7 letters in your address, that means you've seen it enough times to start memorizing it. I'm not asking you to memorize your address. What I want you to do is when you see it, you recognize what it belongs to without looking for the wallet itself. So when you choose one and you get real good at it, and that's what I'm asking you to do, know that address, use the address, send to it, pull from it, buy something with it. So that would be the crypto debit card, if you have one. If you're going to go with that, go with that. But pick one and get extremely good at knowing what that address belongs to. Once you got that down, you're going to go to the next one. So you'll have two. You're going to build up using that one over and over and over. So when it's all over with by Christmas, you should have 5 of them. Should have. You don't have to if you don't want to. But if you're going to have multiple resources, then you have to prepare yourself. So the question at the top of the hour was, what if we're talking about this stuff today and something happens? You get this big notice over the weekend, like let's say Saturday. You receive emails, you receive video that the United States has switched from this to a digital currency. And you need to get certain items. You need to have cold storage. Well, they won't tell you that. I'm telling you that. Cold storage is so you create your own bank. The tools they want to use or want you to use is a tool that they have total control over. We're not accepting that. That's a CDBC or a CBDC, central bank digital currency. They can turn it off, turn it on when they feel that you have bought enough things. Get out of here. That's not happening. So it's time to get into the meat of this call, and that is, if you have a wallet, I need you to understand your wallet. I need you to copy your receive address and put it in multiple places. Take a picture of it. Print it out on the printer. Email it to yourself. It's okay. It's not, no one can do anything with the receive address but send to it. They can't take anything out. What you want to protect is the seed phrase. That's where they can control and take over control of your wallet. So you're going to be putting your receive address for your particular wallet everywhere. Look at it daily. Use it. Send some crypto to it if you can. I haven't forgotten. Once everyone has a bank, the funds that were collected from myself and a few other family members are going to be sent to you guys. I just need everybody to have a place to receive it and understand what this means, because it's basically going to start off the journey using cryptos. When you receive it, what I'd like for you to do is move it a couple times. Move it from the wallet to the crypto debit card if you have one. Okay? And then go shopping. That's a move over. Remember, resources move to the right. They're going to come from resources. They're going to go to the wallet. And then they go to the crypto debit card or digital currency debit card. And then last, it goes to the bank where it stays. So that process is at hand. What I need to know, either a yes or no, does every one of you that are here today have a wallet. Some of you already have your address, some of I don't. Hold on, I'm getting a call.
Yes, Mr. Lewis, I do have a wallet.
Okay. They'll hang up in a minute, I guess. Okay. So MJ, you have a wallet. Okay, great. Anybody else?
I do as well, Mr. Lewis.
Jaden, you have
Yes, I also have a wallet.
Kayla? Or is that
I have
Crystal?
a wallet, yes.
That was
This is Kayla.
Okay. Keith Ann?
I'm sorry, Mr. Lewis. Did you hear when I said I had a wallet?
Yes.
Uh,
So all of you guys have a wallet. Keith Ann, do you have a wallet? She may be having technical difficulties.
Mr. Lewis, if I can answer for her,
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
she does. Maybe she's having a little problem with her appliance.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Like I said, no homework this week, but I do need you to look into your wallet and make sure, number one, that I have the address to it. Two, I need you to print out your received address, email it to yourself, text it to yourself, put it on your forehead. I'm just kidding. Put it in as many places as possible so that if you get a request of what is your wallet address, you have it available and no waiting. What I'm looking to see happen over the course of the next couple of months is that all of you have however many you choose to have. If it's one, great. Know it well. If it's all five, know them the same. I'm looking to see all five or one, whatever you have, that you're able to move resources in and out of it. And the only way you can do that is having the information required, knowledge base and tools. Okay? The process of being a dedicated junior, I don't want to call you kids because one, that's a baby goat, and two, you guys are just so far ahead of yourselves, and I'm so proud of you. I'll just call you juniors. And that way everybody's on the same page. I need you guys to have that information locked in. Okay? I'm using 1, I'm using 2, I'm using all 5, and I have that information anywhere I am. So if you get a request, which you will see a lot of requests once I have everyone's information, which is a cell phone number or an email. And that's all the way down to MJ. So when the time comes, that information is going to be requested of you. And from time to time, depending on what's going on with the promise delivered and or the family, because a lot of family members that have watched and listened to you guys speak are very proud of you, as am I. And they want to contribute to your cryptocurrency journey. Okay, so what that means is there's a lot of people here that want to support you. Okay, so I need you to be able to receive or be able to give that information at the drop of a hat. Now, those two things are pretty much everything that we've talked about over the last week. I'm looking forward to, number one, start loading you guys up. Not decided on what crypto just yet, but it's going to be one that's going to be worth the time and effort. Okay, I'm trying to wait to see what's going on with us, because we're supposed to go into the quantum, and I want to see if they're going to create a quantum coin. It doesn't make sense to put stuff into something that's going to go away. That makes no sense. Then you have thrown away money. So the funds that are sitting, waiting to be sent to all of you, are sitting. Okay? They're not going to be put into any type of crypto just yet. They are not online, nor are they in the bank. I withdrew them months ago. Okay, so what happens in that respect is very simple. When they make a decision on what they're going to do, a long time ago, I told everybody the first RV or the first reevaluation is going to be our own. Okay, they have to come out with new currency, something that's real. This is not real. A lot of people don't understand that, but this has nothing backing it. What's coming will. Okay, so that's the difference in that process. And it's very important that you are on board. So I need you to study on one wallet of your choice. You pick it, whatever it is, you pick it and start learning it. Put the information required to use it in many places. The receive address, the send address. Okay? We're over because of the whole thing. Any questions?
Mr. Lewis, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So the wallet that I have is in my mom's name because I am 12. Do you recommend a wallet that I could use at this age?
No, because when the movement of it is going to happen, you're going to be right next to it. So let's say all of you will be put on your own email list, or I might do it during a call, like one of these. I might say, okay, we're getting ready to send such and such and such. I need you to go next to mom, look at the wallet or bring it up, excuse me, and you will see that transaction. Mom's also going to print out your wallet address so you can see it. Like you and MJ, I understand this is a little bit of a challenge at the moment. But as long as you're next to mom or dad and I send a transaction, you'll see it happen because I'm going to do it where we're all talking. It won't, well, at the beginning, it'll be like that. But as we get going and things start moving forward, whoever is donating towards the juniors, they'll get the address and it'll just pop up. Okay? Now, once you get old enough to get your own wallet, or if there is a wallet that you can use, I want you to start with the first one. So whatever mom has for you, start with that one, get used to the process, used to the idea. You see your balance, you know what I mean? I want you to get real good with that one and then move to one that you can use. Okay?
Okay.
And then you'll be watching two of them. And that goes for the rest of it. So if you want to do one wallet, do the one. If you want to do multiple wallets, don't do any more than 5. So 5 would be the total limit of where resources are going. Any more than that, it's going to get crazy.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis, for answering my question.
Absolutely, you're welcome. Thank you for asking it. Any other questions?
Mr. Lewis, I have a question for you. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored. Yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. Okay, so it's kind of a two-part question. So does it matter, this is going back to what you said, does it matter what wallet you're using when you say, when you were saying you were referencing to Kayla, you said the first question she should ask if she's at school and you want to send her something, she should say, which wallet? Does that matter, or is just the currency that matters? What currency?
Well, number one, it would be which wallet, because if she's going to do more than one, then you have to ask that question. If you're only going to do one wallet and stick with it, then you would just say, you know, I'm using such and such. Here's the address.
Mm.
Now, your second part of that, or the first part of that first question, what are they sending her? So it has to be something, and this is the information she's going to give them. It has to be something that she can put on the card and use it. So right now, that's Bitcoin. There's a couple different ones that you can put on there and spend it like cash. But going forward, what I see happening is the quantum coin coming, and or the quantum currency, which would have whatever tag you're going to stick on it, who knows. Then she would request that from them because they're going to have it too.
Okay, so just for clarity, if you're sending from Exodus and she's receiving from Coinbase, she should say?
Right.
Or
Well, the address, it really depends on the address and what's being sent. So if the sender is using a coin that she can't receive, then they will have to go with a different coin. Not all wallets accept everything.
Okay, okay. All right, so my next question was, so does the address in your wallets change, or is always the same?
It'll be always the same.
It'll always be the same, okay.
Unless you're using Tangem. Tangem tends to change that number every time you use it, so it can't be used to harm you, which I like, but
Right.
that requires you to stay on top of things.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?